welcome to another episode of Disqualified. I am Beltless Trevin, joined as always by Caleb, our main roster prediction champion.
Two-time?
Our NXT prediction champion just recently defended. Zach is behind the camera.
Hello.
And Gordon is also behind the camera editing.
Yes. And we are here to talk about Monday Night Raw. This is the Raw after Saturday night's main event.
We don't talk about that show. We don't gotta talk about it. We don't need to talk about it.
Now, getting that unpleasant thought out of my head, we are talking about Monday Night Raw. And, you know, for a lot of what they heralded as a classic show, not a lot of fallout from it.
No. But we open with, having to cover probably the biggest news story out of Saturday Night Main Event, which is Bronson Reed joining Seth's faction. And, all four men come out, which is Seth Rollins, Big Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and the wise man Paul Heyman come out, and they lay out their, what I'm going to refer to as a 5-step plan, basically. And
this is our 5-year plan.
Yep, and basically step 1 is Seth qualifies and wins Money in the Bank, and then cashes in on any world title belt he wants. And, he dips and he is set, and it's official of who his opponents are. In our main event, it will be Seth Rollins trying to qualify against Sami Zayn and Finn Balor. A lot of enemies in that triple threat. But first, the other men's triple threat, because we did 2 women's qualifiers last week, we have Penta versus Chad Gable versus Dragon Lee.
And with the added caveat of El Hijo del Vikingo sitting ringside.
Yep, and they're making it, and they're reminding us a lot that Chad Gable, reminder, has a match against Vikingo at World Collide.
Oh, and in other upcoming PLE news, they just announced that the same day as Saturday night's main event, actually no, it might be the Sunday, so it might be Evolution. It's one of those 2 days, pardon me for getting the day mixed up. They will be streaming NXT's Great American Bash during the day. And it is counter-programming AEW. And this has become a very big norm for WWE to counter-book and counter-block AEW's
Yep, with
time
NXT
slots on their days. And it is very scummy business practice. And there's going to be people that say, well, it's for the... think of it like the love of wrestling. Yeah, if it was really for the love of wrestling, we wouldn't have to decide what to watch that day.
Yeah.
We could watch it both in the same day if we wanted to, if you weren't such
and it's funny
hungry people.
Yeah, and it's funny too how it's always NXT PLEs that end up being used for this strategy, because it reminds us a lot about the old Wednesday Wars that technically AEW won.
Oh yeah, they did win. They did win those wars. Yeah, they demolished NXT in those ratings. And then WWE said, we're going to move it to Tuesday.
Yes. But all your PLEs are now our PLEs.
Yep. So, it sucks. It really does. I did not think that... I know that they've been scummy in the past, but I didn't think they were going to be this fucking scummy, dude.
Yeah. But, back to the action of this qualifier, Chad Gable's at a disadvantage because he's fighting 2 luchas.
Yeah, and he's also at a disadvantage from getting dropped on his fucking face.
Almost broke his neck.
Oh, yeah, so there was a spot where it looked like Penta was going for a styles clash, I guess. And
yeah,
then,
yeah, he had Dragon Lee in for a backpack driver,
mhm.
and then he had Gable in front of him, not knowing which non-pile driver to do, but just ended up doing a impromptu pile driver.
And uh, we are lucky we didn't see 2 injuries in basically 2 weeks. What the fuck was he
Yeah.
thinking? I'm just glad the Chad's okay, man.
Yeah, he was busted open quite a bit, but
That was after. That happened way after.
yeah, because some people are saying that that might have been how he got like the opening started, and then to make sure Chad Gable doesn't win, Vikingo jumps the audience barricade and in a suit, mind you, delivers basically a corner Tekken kicking combo onto Gable to put him down, enough for Penta to give Chad the Penta driver for the 1, 2, 3, and he qualifies.
Yep. So Penta goes on to join Solo Sikoa
And LA Knight.
LA Knight.
Yep. And it's super interesting, this docket. I'm like, cool. Who next?
We'll see in the main event.
Yes.
We'll see. I don't know how we're feeling about what happened in the main event. I don't know.
But our next match is
something that was very, very short. And
Yep.
I'll explain it to you. And I think the amount of time it takes to get this match going. Rusev and Tozawa are staring at each other. Tozawa runs in. Rusev kicks him. Throws him around a few times.
and then
Accolade.
yep.
And then, after the tap out, pulls back and starts bridging the Accolade.
Yep. And I was like, oh. And then we hear a music I forgot was his music because he got Death Rebelled.
Yep, it is Sheamus. The old running mates of the League of Nations are now going to be going against each other, and I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just the
this is gonna
look
be
of
such a
mutual respect the stare down between each other had. Like, Rusev was like, you know what? Fair enough. And Sheamus just giving the stare of pick on someone your own size.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, these two gonna cook.
Oh, yeah. And now we're getting into a 2-block where I hate something that happened, and then Trevin hates something that happened.
Yes, but the thing I hate that happened is first.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of hate the other thing that happened because it was a little wonky and kind of pointless, but you hate it because of the person involved.
It's not because of the person involved. Let me get that clear. It's not because of the person involved. It's because the person involved should be better at this by now.
Yeah. But the thing I hate is...
Wait. So it's the person involved.
It's their skill level.
Yeah, they ass.
But the thing I hate is it's a tag championship match between the New Day, your champions, and the challengers of the Creed Brothers and the War Raiders in a triple threat rule set where 2 legal men at a time. It's that triple threat rule set.
Match cooked.
It did cook.
Match cooked.
Yes.
Ending? Interesting.
Yes. So the story of this match was New Day and Creeds are basically being partners in crime, you know. New Day has given a lot of promises, a lot of opportunities to the Creeds, so they're like, hey, do us a favor, make sure the Raiders don't get a breath during this match. And they do just that. They beat the snot out of the Raiders. I ain't gonna lie. But when the Raiders are basically out of commission, I believe, it was Xavier, rolls up one of the Creed.
It was Julius.
Yeah. Rolls up Julius, grabs the tights to make sure he stays down for the 1, 2, 3, and they retain. And the Creeds looked pissed.
Are they going to make the Creeds faces?
I don't know.
Is it possible?
Also, where do the New Day go from here?
Yeah, because
Who's left for them to face in the tag division? New Catch Republic, but Tyler Bate is out, or not Tyler Bate. Pete Dunne's out because him and his partner just had a kid. So,
paternity leave.
A-Town Down Under, I guess, but the New Day has been chummy with Grayson
Waller.
Waller.
Yeah,
Call
and
up Hank and Tank. They
No.
ready.
they're champions right now.
They can't. It doesn't mean they can't just do like a match. All right.
Technically, he's not wrong.
I mean, they can face LWO.
But yeah,
I don't want Hank and Tank anywhere near the main roster, bro.
not with this current gimmick.
Y'all haters.
No, it's not gonna survive.
You're not.
It's not gonna survive. Look, the most they did with anyone that had this type of gimmick was Otis. And they gave him the Money in the Bank champion, like the Money in the Bank briefcase, and that was a mistake. So big of a mistake that they'd even have him cash it in, and he lost it in a match.
To the Miz, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how The Miz won his second title. Second WWE championship.
Yeah.
But no, I'm sorry. Those types of gimmick do not work on the main roster. This isn't the 90s. No one cares about a blue-collar gimmick. And by 90s, I mean early 90s. No one cares about the blue-collar gimmicks no more. It doesn't hit.
Their in-ring work, though.
It's good. Like, they're good in ring, and it's just, why did you give them this packaging? It's like, this packaging sucks. Give them new packaging, and the toys would sell. Not saying that, I don't know if they have figures. I'm not saying that they don't sell.
I
if they
believe
do
some
have
NXT
figures.
stars have figures, according to Ethan Page and his collection.
Yeah. But now onto the thing I hate so much. It is Trevin's favorite superstar, our
What?
world heavyweight champion, Jey Uso.
This promo was rough. I will give that to you. Basically, Jay comes out off of, the main event of Saturday Night Main Event, successfully retains and basically reminds the audience how, at Money in the Bank, me and my boy Cody got that tag match, and we gonna knock the yeet out of Cena and Paul. And someone else would like to remind you what's happening the Monday after Money in the Bank, and we hear Gunther, the Ringanara, he's here.
Yeah, so Gunther approaches and he says, look, the Monday after, he's like, you go enjoy your little tag team match. Do what you need.
Yep, and
Just know I'm waiting on the
Yeah.
other side.
Yeah, he's like, to be honest, I didn't think you'd get this far.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, sure, the YouTuber was a stretch, but he did knock you out.
Yeah. He almost had Jay beat. He literally almost had him beat.
Yep. So he's like, so the Monday after your little tag match, I'm going to be here and take back what's rightfully mine. And
Now we get the worst part
yeah.
of the promo where Jay
Set-
forgets his lines.
yeah, he says like, are you done? Seriously, are you done? Because I'm done. I'm done with people telling me I'm not good enough. I'm done with people saying they can beat me. It's like, go on, say it again. And then they stand there for a solid 10 seconds.
Well, Jay paces back and forth.
Yeah.
And you know who I've seen this happen to before? His cousin, Roman Reigns. Look, Jay, unbelievably goated on the mic. I will give him this any day of the week. He's one of the best promos in the game. You should not forget what you're going to say. If you're that
Yeah.
good on the mic. Because
That's the thing.
if you're that good on the mic, I'm trusting that they give you no script.
Here's the thing, though, is that he did his line before the silence was an invitation for Gunther to say something, and then he decided after 10 seconds, I'ma continue.
Gunther was late to the spot.
I don't think it was Gunther. Because Gunther looked at him like, what are you doing?
But Jay finishes the promo with establishing, like, I've beat you once, I can do it again, so the Monday after Money in the Bank, I'ma tap you out again.
Yep, and then leaves.
Yup.
And that's it. That's it.
It was rough.
What the fuck are we doing with this title? What are we doing with it?
We had such a good inaugural with Seth.
It is strange to say. This feels like transitional, but it feels like the transition period has gone on too long. Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think he was meant to be champion this long. I don't know what happened. I don't. Maybe Cena Punk was supposed to happen and then they fell through. I don't. Something changed. And I don't. It's just a weird title reign.
Yeah.
His first defense, his first program is Logan Paul. Okay. How do you sell us on this match? But wait, Seth Rollins has just risen to power. So now we're getting Seth and Jay in the match. So he has one defense. So I'm like, okay. This means title reign's done. He's had his defense. He's going in for a second. He's going to lose via screwy methods. No. He retains through screwy methods. I mean, he overcomes them, but he retains via them. And now he's facing Gunther, and I have a feeling they're giving it to Gunther. Because if they don't, I don't know what's left for Jay. I don't know who's left to face him. Punk, but they're currently aligned in a weird way. Sammy's not going to turn heel.
Seth does have a stake for a rematch.
Well, yeah, but that's it. That's his only program. And once that program's done, I mean, I think you give it to Seth then.
We do also have the Crown Jewel Championship match.
I don't think Jay gets there as champ. That's in Perth. That's in October. I don't think Jay gets there as champ. I think this goes to Seth via maybe rematch, via maybe if he qualifies for Money in the Bank, maybe. I don't know. It's just a weird spot for the title to be in.
Yeah.
It feels like they're ready for the draft, but they haven't announced it yet, and I don't know why. At least just tell us when it's happening so we can be like, okay, they need to wrap some stories up for the draft. And if things are weird, that's why.
Yeah.
But
It's
they
like,
haven't-
we know it is happening. They have announced it is happening again. When?
sometime in the summer. Or, no, it was sometime in the spring. And spring's going to end soon.
Yeah, spring ends in 3 weeks.
So, I don't know. Next, we get to...
First, a little Judgment Day Clubhouse spot. Everyone's chilling, everyone's vibing, everyone's hanging out, and Roxanne offers Dom some nuggies, and all of a sudden we hear Konnichiwa!
bitches!
And Liv stares directly at Roxanne Perez, being like, "Who this?"
Because she was massaging his shoulder.
Yeah.
In a very awkward way.
From the front,
Yeah, from the front. A very awkward,
looking him in the eye.
Yeah.
very awkward
Yeah.
way to massage
Very
someone's
sensual.
shoulder.
Yeah, and you can just see Finn in the
Finn
background.
is enjoying the scenes.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's like, you see this man? You see what
Yeah.
he's doing?
But Liv is just like, you know what? Everyone's here. Everything's good. I'm back and I'm ready to get some business done. I'm gonna go directly to Pierce and get a Money in the Bank qualifying match. And while she's on her way there, she runs into Kairi Sane and Io having a conversation.
Wait, you're skipping over Carlito's comment.
Oh yeah, Carlito's comment.
Carlito comments.
Too dumb.
You really should stop eating her nuggets, bro. And that concludes Carlito's comment.
She stopped giving her nuggets.
Stop eating her nuggets, bro.
Yeah. Now cutting back to Io and Kairi having the conversation. Liv sees it and it's like, "Aw, look, it's the person who can't win a match still."
She said, "What are you gonna do? Run to your low group damage control?"
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're disbanded. They just pretty much confirmed that damage control is disbanded.
Yeah. But Kairi is livid and is like, "You, me, match tonight." And Liv's like, "Sure, I'm down to have a match on my comeback day."
Yep. And we get this match right now. Kairi
Yep.
Sane versus Liv Morgan and
Raquel is on
Nick
ring.
Hooks.
Yep, Raquel is on ringside with her tag partner as reminder. Despite having to take a break, Liv is still one half of the tag championship.
What are we doing with the championship scene on Raw?
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yes. This match does cook, though. It's a nice back and forth, surprisingly, for these two people's spots on the card.
Wait a minute. Io's not feuding with anyone. Dom's not feuding with anyone.
Yet.
Judgment Day is not feuding with anyone.
They're feuding with everyone.
They're feuding with Roxanne currently, I guess. 3 out of the 5 titles they have.
Don't have feuds.
Oh, no, actually 4. Because Jay is in the tag match. Do you know how bad that is? They, in a 2.5 hour long wrestling show, they have one of their belts currently being written for a story.
I have no comment.
That's ass, bro. That's so ass.
Yeah.
I just realized that now. That is so ass.
Yeah. But as we start wrapping up this match, Liv's going for any finisher she can. She's already hit a backstabber. She's already hit a code. Wait, no, not a code. Yeah, it is a code red, right? No.
Code breaker.
Code breaker. Yeah, she's like, this girl ain't staying down.
She tries to hit the Oblivion.
Yep, but Kairi is able to, hold on to the ropes, keep her balance, and they do a little striking battle. Kairi gains the advantage, goes to the top rope, and she is pushed off by Roxanne Perez while the ref is distracted with Raquel. Raquel sees Roxanne interfere in her peripheries and is like, "What you doing here? No one asked you to be here." And she's like, "I'm helping."
And Liv is just staring at what's happening.
And
Does not see Kyrie approach from behind. And
yep, gets
her
the
up.
roll up for the 1, 2, 3. And your winner is Kairi Sane.
Hey, at least you got to win.
Yeah.
At least you got to win.
And Liv looks pissed for a reason we'll get to later. Raquel looks pissed for an obvious reason. And Roxanne's just like,
I wish I was anyone but me right now.
yeah. She's like, what? She's like literally saying, "What I do? I try to help."
And then, in another Clubhouse segment,
Yep.
um,
Raquel and Roxanne are already arguing, and Liv walks in being like, "Shut up! Just explain what happened." And Raquel's like, "Listen, she bumped off Kyrie, and I was like, we don't need you there." And Liv is like, Raquel,
I can't believe I'm saying this. You're the veteran.
you should have known better.
You should have known better. And leaves.
And Raquel looks hurt with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe
This implosion cannot happen any quicker, man.
no,
It needs to happen.
SummerSlam it's happening.
I need it to happen soon.
Because in our main event, we get another tease. But first, we have one more promo before our main event. It is a promo with Lyra Valkyria, basically making it official that they are running it back at Money in the Bank.
Becky coming out once again saying that Lyra is so ungrateful for what she's done for the division, what she's done for her.
Yep.
Mocks her fiance.
Yep. And she's like, she's like, you went to the hospital with your stupid fiance. I went back home to my hot husband, and Lyra claps back with, oh, your hot husband, the only talented thing about you. And the audience was like, oh.
No, she said the only talented thing in your family.
Yeah. And the audience was just like,
Mm-hmm.
you gonna take that, Becky?
Yeah, and basically, the whole stipulation, and it's a good old classic stipulation. I kind of like when these happen. They just need to make it official. It is, if Becky loses, she cannot challenge for the IC championship
As long
as Lyra is
champion.
But if Becky wins, Lyra has to raise her hand.
Look her in the eye and,
Raise her hand at the end of the day. And
Yep.
Lyra said, I've never had any trouble raising the hand of a woman that's better than me.
It's just never been you. Lyra cooked on this
Bro,
promo.
Lyra's good on the mic.
Yeah.
She's good on the mic. She's good in ring. I think I know what's happening at the end of this match. I kind of wanted to hold the title for a little longer, but yeah, I think this all leads to Becky winning.
Want to put your belt on it?
My belt's already going to be on the line. Why am I
Yeah.
betting it on one match?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like something's going to happen.
Bailey will be back around then.
Yeah.
What better championship feud? Becky and Bailey. Even though they don't need the championship, but that's what they seem to be doing.
If they do a triple threat, it's BBL.
Moving on. And now, your main event.
Zach is terrible.
It is a men's Money in the Bank qualifier triple threat. The competitors are Seth freaking Rollins, Sami Zayn, and Finn Balor.
And with, I think of one triple threat match in particular. I believe it was Miz, Rollins, and Finn at Mania for the IC belt. And that cooked. So they've replicated the experiment tonight with X plus Seth plus Finn. Triple threat. Just cooks.
It cooks.
It is a time-tested formula. Look, I say you go seek the match out for yourself. It's good enough. I don't need to explain it. The thing I'm going to explain is the finishing sequence to this match. Because it is the best finishing sequence I have seen in a long time.
Yep. So, first, we need to take one man out to get the 1v1 for the pinfall in there. So, what better way to do it than take out the already feuding, already vulnerable Sami Zayn out by bringing Seth's two goons out to take him on. And then, seeing that he is outnumbered, your champion Jey Uso decides to hop in, turn it into a 2v2 in ringside, leaving the brutal enemies till the very end, Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, in the 1v1 in the ring. And what other way to, sprinkle in more storytelling into this match with your current Intercontinental Champion, Dominic Mysterio, trying to help out his fellow Judgment Day member by sliding in a steel chair. The thing is, Finn hasn't learned how to grab the chair while he's in a match with Rollins.
Nope. And stomp right onto the chair.
One, two, three. It's like, stand up if you're gonna grab the chair.
Finn, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Stop trying to grab the chair while prone. It never works out. There's also one spot that I do want to talk about because I somehow thought this was the ending spot. No, it's not the ending spot. It's just a ton of finishers at once. So, Finn goes for the coup de grace. Sammy ducks. Sammy gets up in the corner. Finn is prone on the ground. Seth runs in, stomp. And then he, staggers.
Yeah, follows through.
Follows through, staggers into the corner. While Sammy is running right behind him. Haluva kick.
Bah!
Oh my God, that was such a good spot. That was such a good sequence.
Let these three cook more often.
Yeah, but then after the match, Seth and
Yep, Seth has qualified.
Seth, Bronson and Braun Associates.
Yep.
They start taking the beating.
He's like, he points to the two Bronze and it's like, you get him get him in the ring, I'll stomp their heads in two.
And CM Punk's music plays and he sends his goons to the ramp.
Yes,
he said, go get them.
Yeah, he's like, get him before he can get here. And Seth,
you freaking idiot.
You've pulled this move before.
Yep. Punk runs up from behind, from the crowd, hits a GTS. That man folds like a napkin and
CM Punk dips.
And that's the show.
Yep.
A very good ending to Raw. Oh yeah, by the way, Seth qualifies for Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty obvious who's winning Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty obvious who's winning Money in the Bank.
There's a reason that the championship match is the Raw after. There's a reason they are shoving that Seth needs a championship down our throat. And he has done extremely successful and famous cash-ins before.
This just means LA Knight gets shafted 3 years in a row.
A couple people wanted to be Karrion Kross, but he has yet to be confirmed for a qualifier match even.
Come on. They just started selling his merch in arenas.
Yes.
They just started doing it.
We're talking about LA Knight getting shafted. He's getting shafted too.
Yeah, he's literally the top merch seller right now, and he's not on screen at all, so.
No. He was on screen in a little Sammy thing being like, Sammy, you got one shot at this. Don't mess it up. And Sammy messed it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's it for this episode of Raw, and that's it from us here at Disqualified.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Trevin.
Oh yeah.
Plug.
Yeah, so what he's talking about is our TTRPG podcast, Throes of Chaos, where currently we are playing D&D in a homebrew setting where I DM and I try to control these three chaos, which, as you can see from episodes of this podcast, is a lot harder than it looks.
It's even worse when I have an antimatter rifle.
And that accent.
And I'm a bird. Bird cowboy.
Yeah, we are playing through D&D 5e right now. Go on and check it out. Link in the bio of this channel and in the description down below.
Yeah, and I have been your main roster predictions champion, Caleb. That is Beltless Trevin.
Oh.
That is your NXT predictions champion and our producer, Zach. That is our editor-in-chief, Gordon, back there. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell 3 times so you know the match is over. And we'll see you next time. Thank you for your time. Peace.
Bye!